3-4-5. Now on court number 5 here at the Baldoyle Badminton Centre is the Grade E women's doubles final. We have N.Gilchrist and L.Walsh from Kilcullen. Far end in action against V.Lynch and P.Thornton from Trim and Dunboyne at this end. Thomas with us here once again. And Thomas, V.Lynch and P.Thornton at this end, the camera end of, as we look at the moment now, Trim and Dunboyne. So they're not in the same club. Would that suggest that maybe they don't play together too often? Or
yeah, apparently they might play a lot of tournaments during the year. In Leinster are very strong. Actually, they run about this year. They run about 6 graded events, so maybe they're just good pals.
Yeah.
I know Patrice actually played against her and things like that, and she's played in different clubs, so they might be long-term friends from previous clubs and have kept that kind of going. So we'll know quick enough here, but obviously since they made it to the final, they must be pretty good.
Decent pairing, yeah.
And it's easier in doubles. We were saying
yeah.
Mixed, it's a bit more difficult to work out. Doubles, the formations are fairly straightforward.
In the umpire's chair, Catherine Smith. I believe it's her birthday this weekend. Happy birthday, Catherine. Won't ask what age. Absolutely, yeah. Good rally, this.
Yeah, and no Patrice, and don't know Valerie, but yeah, Patrice is a very committed player, very strong.
Patrice in the red there.
Yeah, she's risen up through the grades actually over a few years, and very strong player. So, but always produce some very good players as well. So it should be a tough match.
You were talking about that earlier on, the fact that there are clubs that play in the Dublin District League, from Bray, from Kildare, Meath. We're seeing here Trim and Dunboyne, North County Dublin, all those sort of places near the Pale.
Yeah, we're beginning to meet these clubs because they're coming into our leagues. And it's not that there's not leagues in their own counties, it's just they want to use the opportunity to play to double up in effect. So they're playing in Meath leagues and Kildare leagues and Wicklow leagues one day, and then the next day they're playing in the Dublin District League. So it's not because that there's not a good league infrastructure in these. They're just obviously people who just love the game.
Extra games,
yeah. And you find the badminton person is a committed person. Really, they just will play. Just it goes to show that they just really enjoy the game.
Patrice and Valerie have come through 3 matches to get to this final, winning 21-7, 21-17 in the first round. They were taken to 3 games by Catherine Dolphin and Lorraine Nolan before eventually making it through to the semi-finals, where they took on Mairead Carthy and Lindsay Keddy, won their semi-final 21-19, 21-15. So as you say, they are a strong looking pairing.
But have had to fight their way through. Yeah, there's some close games there for them. So they obviously had to fight their way through, which goes good to see. It goes to show the grade is well matched, and that players are finding it tough.
Good news is that Dave, our sound guru, is making sure that the umpire Catherine has her microphone switched on. We don't have a courtside scoreboard here for this event at the Baldoyle Badminton Centre, so we are relying on the umpire to confirm the score. Some of the line calls can be pretty tight at times and so on. Speaking of scores, that ad at the end of the court, just to give it again, badmintonireland.com. If you want to check the scores of anybody you might know who's been playing here over the weekend, it's updated
20 seconds.
Really rapidly. It's a super
20
service.
seconds.
And all the grades from B, C, D, E, F, and
11-5.
G across the entire weekend. If you want to check the scores, they'll be there. badmintonireland.com, the address for that one.
12-5.
So Patrice here and Valerie have a healthy lead here, 12-5. Pushing on after the break well. Is that in?
Oh, it was very close. Hard to say.
13-5.
That was another one of those ones for Hawkeye.
I'd like to see that one on the replay.
It's called out.
But no major objections from opposition.
Halt. 14-5.
Did you say you've played against Patrice?
Yeah, but
Service over.
she's a
6-14.
very good player and plays a lot. And husband plays as well. Not sure if they play in the same club actually, but yeah. So her husband Paul.
Service
both
over.
players
15-6.
been fine actually. Lots of people meet through badminton. My own club actually. Well, I joined my club with my partner actually, but we've had in our club a couple of
Service
weddings
over,
and several
7-15.
children in our club. Yeah.
So you don't have to bother with these online dating sites or anything. Just join a badminton club.
Come to badminton. Come to badminton. No shortage of healthy,
8-15.
fit, whatever people of all sexes.
Excellent.
And then it's
Oh, there used to be an ad campaign. Love stories begin at some nightclub or something, but now we can say love stories begin on the badminton courts of Ireland.
Service over. 16-8.
so yeah, but we're trying to basically produce our own junior club in a sense.
This is a comprehensive lead for Lynch and Thornton. 16-8 double scores. They are just looking that notch above Norrie Gilchrist and
17-8.
Lindsay Walsh.
Seeing them play as definitely it's a Patrice in Justice League, and she's a familiar face in finals in Cup.
18-8.
So well used to keeping the composure when the pressure's on. So she's just dealing with it no problem.
Norrie with the
19-8.
pink headband at the far end of the court. I was trying to work out if Norrie is her actual name, or would it be short for Noreen, maybe?
Right.
Don't know.
Plenty colours. Ooh. And see there actually
Service
a
over.
very good example of
9-19.
where Valerie was hit with the shuttle, but it was her partner apologised, not the person
Yeah,
who hit him,
yeah.
because it was from a weakness.
Put her in that position.
Put her in that
10-19.
immediate response then. It's good to see his, just on the game as well. You can see in a lot of sports, colours trying to come in here.
Service over. 20
everything
game
from
point. 10.
pink shoes there, and lots of yellow. You can see in the international scene, lots of colour now being introduced to the game, and I suppose influence from other
Game.
sports. So the days of all whites are long gone.
Yeah.
First game won by Valerie Lynch and Patrice Thornton.
We did see a couple of
21-10.
players earlier on in the day as well wearing sort of leggings and stuff like that. I'm not sure at the higher levels if you're ever going to see that, but I suppose when you come down the levels, maybe some people just want to keep their muscles warm. So there's a lot of hanging around.
Yeah, that's it. Even at that, you still actually have to get permission from the umpire prior to that. So
Really?
yeah. So when you make your submission, you submit that. Really, actually, there's Patrice's husband out there. Yeah, he's starting there at the back, and that's her husband there chatting to Valerie.
Hope it's her husband.
Yeah, it is. Yes,
this has been streamed live on the web.
No, it is.
I actually missed the score there at the end of that first game. Was it 21?
21-10.
21-10. Yeah, it was. I was waffling. Forgot to take down the score, but that's about as comprehensive a scoreline as you're going to get in a final.
Yeah. I recognise the players though on the side, and I have seen them in finals, so I think they can maybe step it up or two. And seen it again. You know, if you take the foot off the pen, you will be punished.
Yeah.
So, sure, the girls will refocus. Nail on. New game.
Yep.
Second game, love all play.
Throughout the course of the weekend, but certainly the sort of form that P.Thornton was showing in that first game there, hard to see it, but taking the first point of the second game.
Service over, 1-love.
Sheltner again.
Service over, 1-all.
Close but just wide. I wonder, is it a little bit distracting when there are plays going on in the other court beside you and the shuttle is in the air? And so I suppose they're so focused on what they're doing there that they wouldn't even notice.
Absolutely, completely focused, yeah. You're looking around you.
Service over, 2-1.
You're in the wrong place.
Yeah. So players do that. They're well used to playing in multi-court halls anyway, so it's most places they play in, most clubs are playing 2, 3, 4 court venues. So
service over, 2-all.
Focus on the game in hand.
Well, even at the Olympic Games, there'd be multi-court action going on. Maybe not quite as tight as you'd get here, but nevertheless, you'd still have crowd noise and so on.
2-all play.
Even just there, look, an interruption, and that's probably the biggest problem. It would be is if the shuttle comes in, and just you're about to serve. Often that's when an error happens because your concentration
breaks the broken. Yeah.
3-2.
Trying to own the net there. See, she's right up on the line.
4-2.
So she's looking to really just own the net and try and force the lift.
Been the dominant player really in this game. It's just out.
Service over, 3-4.
So neither pair here getting around a point, so just exchanging.
N.Gilchrist on serve.
4-all.
It's interesting, Nari. She seems to just want to get on with it very quickly. Some players like a fast pace. You know, like sometimes you watch some of the dart players. You know, some players like to be very fast, some like very
service
slow.
Service over, 5-4.
Each has their own rhythm.
Yeah.
He looks to be very anxious to get on with.
Put that service straight out, which was a cheap point to give their opponents.
6-4.
You can't afford really to be giving away points like that against a combination like Thornton and Lynch, who have been very strong.
Yeah.
7-4.
Just needs to be a little bit tighter on the net. And Nari just a little bit loose.
Yeah. 8-4.
People who sometimes, I suppose, it's a good example of you might have the traditional nice image of badminton, you know what I mean, that it's nice and gentle over the net.
Service over, 5-8.
There's definitely a seriousness about it, you know, from what people might be led to believe. So there's definitely a sense of bravery at times in this game.
Yeah. I think especially if you look at it at the very highest level, and particularly the men's, I suppose in some respects, just the power and the speed with which they hit the shuttle is really quite phenomenal.
Service over, 9-6.
Top level, you're watching them hitting it 300 kilometers an hour, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. It does have a slightly genteel sort of...
Service over, 7-9.
People, when they think about it, might think that it goes along those lines, but there's a hell of a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, it's probably just more the back garden outside, over the washing line, you know.
It's like the Victoriana.
Yeah. So,
this is a million miles of fun.
Service over, 10-7.
This is grade E. I mean, across the weekend, we've had grade B, C, and D yesterday, E, F, and G today. So, obviously, yesterday with the B, C, and D would be
service over, 8-10.
Or a couple of levels above the level we're seeing here at the moment. The thing about these sort of players, though, is that you do see them produce the occasional lovely shot. You know, it's not the sort of consistency, I suppose, of the higher level players.
Yeah, it's like
service over, 11-8 interval.
We can go down and play golf and put the ball within 2 feet of the hole, but it's to do it consistently, and that's the thing. You know, they can just do it. The top players are doing it, 99 or whatever, 95 times out of 100, and the players maybe down at E, they're doing it maybe 50 out of 100 or 60 out of 100, 70 out of 100 even. Yeah. That's still just, it's that difference really.
The gap, yeah.
And that's what you try to do as a player. You're trying to bring that percentage up as much as possible.
Yeah.
And that's what you notice when you're playing different grades, or you're playing up a grade or something like that. They just have that little bit more consistency. Not a whole lot. It's usually just maybe, in a game it could be just 5 or 6 points, but it's that consistency of that 5 or 6 points that makes the difference.
11-8.
Lynch and P.Thornton at the interval, 11-8 ahead of Norrie Gilchrist and Lindsay Walsh. It's Patrice on service.
She's bearing the serve there. She's having a big look at the corner, but I think it was in.
Service over, 9-11.
She kind of got caught by her own serve. Great play, very good play. Good point. Yeah. Spotted
service
the
over, 12-9.
And made it look very easy. It was still a difficult shot. Just made it look very easy. Just popped it over to the space.
Look at she.
Yeah.
13-9.
It's interesting here as well to see the Valerie and Patrice, when they have served, they're doing very accurate serving. Been very few. I don't think I've seen a serve into the net or a serve
14-9.
So and that's absolutely paramount. Nice and tight over the net, so forcing. We talked about this yesterday about who's got control of the third shot. It's this big thing.
15-9.
Yeah.
You serve, and you're serving, and then the second shot is hit. Whoever's got that third shot in an aggressive pose is going to win 90% of the time.
Service over, 10-15.
So even though the rally can still be quite long, it just seems to say statistically be on the attack on the third shot.
Yeah, be interesting.
Strangely. Yeah, it'd be good to see real statistical analysis on it, really.
Yeah. I'm sure it has been done, and that is the case.
It's a great drop. Good variation.
We're seeing some good rallies in this match. That was a great point. Great point.
11-15.
Oh, good shot from Lindsay Walsh there to take that point and bring it back to 12-15.
Yep. Goes right in now here. See now how the girls respond to this pressure.
Good shot.
Yeah. So tight, just
Service over,
It
16-12.
It was not a bad serve because it was down the middle. Patrice had to kind of come round over her shoulder. And great shot.
Loose one there from Valerie Lynch.
Service over, 13-16.
So 3 points in it. They're giving it a bit of a rattle anyway. Norrie Gilchrist and Lindsay Walsh. They're giving themselves a half a chance in this second game. They already trailed by 1 game.
Just pushed it out.
A loose one, wasn't it?
Service over, 17-13.
The line and just keep it away from that line. Slip it away from
18-13.
I think it's not looking good here now. Gilchrist and Walsh.
You feel that the curtains are about to be pulled.
Just them 2 points. They were just when they closed the gap about 2 points.
Yeah.
They needed to, she's still trying
Service over,
14-18
14-18.
to Norrie, so still fight.
Yeah.
Not prepared to give it up now. You've been here all day trying to get to that final. So, yeah.
That's another good point.
15-18. Service over, 19-15.
She just read it, I think. She just sensed the high serve. And
smashed it away.
Yeah,
and that was
it's the risk you take if you go and do a high serve.
Oh.
Yeah, she can't believe it. Yeah.
20, match point, 15.
Absolutely nothing she could do. So it's match point.
5 match points for Valerie Lynch and Patrice Thornton. Patrice on serve. They're not giving up without a fight.
No.
They really are.
Service over, 16-20.
We saw earlier in the previous match. Can't be done.
Yeah, we had a game earlier on where pairing had 5 match points. It turned around. So where there's life, there's hope. But unfortunately, there's no hope now for Norrie Gilchrist and Lindsay Walsh. They lose 21-10, 21-16 in favour of Patrice Thornton and Valerie Lynch. They take the grade
Match
E
won by Valerie Lynch and
doubles
Patrice
title
Thornton.
here
21-10,
at,
21-16.
In fairness, they deserved that win. They were the stronger pairing.
Yeah, just most consistent and when it came to the crunch. Just as the other pair were catching up, just stepped up a gear at the end of the match and got it home quite well. So, and you can see they're quite happy with that win.
Very good. We might see if we can catch a word.
Valerie, well done. Patrice, come over here beside me. Hiya, I'm Con. How are you doing? So I have some really hard questions for you. Really hard. Jesus, it's a long day.
Okay, Patrice, Valerie, congratulations on winning the Grade E doubles title. It was a comfortable enough win in the end. Would that be a fair assessment?
I think that would be very disrespectful of who we played against. We've played them many times before. They're never an easy pair to play against. Never. They've usually won. Yes. Makes it all the more sweeter.
What was so special for you tonight then? How did you manage to overcome them?
I don't know. We had a game plan going out and it worked for us for once. But we're not telling anybody what it is because we're using it again tomorrow night.
I didn't mean to be disrespectful, but the scoreline would suggest that it was comfortable enough.
Yes, we expected it to go to a 3-set. We did expect that, so we're delighted that we had a much easier 2-set. Yeah.
We were just saying before we started there, it's a long day for the players. I mean, it's nearly 10:30 at night. From your points of view, you've come through a lot of games across the day. How physically demanding has it been?
Extremely demanding. We finished our semi-finals, what time? About 2 hours ago? Yeah, and we've been sitting around ever since.
It's more mentally, I think. It's keeping your head in it that you're going to have to go away for another game. And that's more. It's worse.
This time of night,
Yeah, it is a long day. But having said that, you're now Grade E champions, Irish Open champions, and I suppose that's got a nice ring to it.
There's a lovely ring to it.
How long them going?
Listen, congratulations to you both. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.